So welcome to my channel. Today we're going to discuss the basics of emotional intelligence. So emotional intelligence is one of the most important skills that we should have in our life so that we are able to manage our life. Therefore, it is an area that is very, very critical when it comes to leadership, when it comes to psychology, and therefore many of us are aware of IQ. So most of the time we confuse emotional intelligence and intelligence quotient. They are very different areas. So IQ is designed to measure the intellectual intelligence, and it gives a score from a series of tests. And we sometimes say that, or we always say that higher IQ indicates better cognitive abilities or the ability to learn and understand. So IQ is measured through a series of tests, and therefore we come up with whether you have high IQ or lower IQ. So people with high IQ are more likely to do well academically without exerting the same amount of mental effort as those with lower IQ score. So that is how the research says. So a logical assumption therefore is that people with high IQ will be more successful at work and through life. So that is the assumption. So this assumption has been proven incorrect. So it's not correct that the people with the high IQ are more or are going to succeed more in life than those who have a lower IQ. So there is more to success than simply being clever. So IQ is about cleverness in terms of how you perform in class. So emotional intelligence is a modern concept and was fully developed in mid 1990s by Daniel Goleman, among others. So he came up with this concept in mid 1990s so that to be able to understand how human beings behave and how we can survive in this life, especially in this time. So what is emotional intelligence? So emotional intelligence is a measure of individuals' ability to recognize and manage their emotions and the emotions of other people, so both individually and in groups. So are you able to mingle well with the different groups, with the different people in an organization, wherever you work? So therefore, emotional intelligence becomes a very critical concept, trying to understand this. So what is the benefit of higher emotional intelligence? When you talk about emotional intelligence, what is the benefit? Do we need it? So people with high emotional intelligence find it easier to form and maintain interpersonal relationships and in quote fit in to group situations. So they're able to fit with others, they're able to work with others, they're able to live with others well. Those people who have a higher emotional intelligence, they are very easy people to work with in teams. The other point is that people with higher emotional intelligence are also better at understanding their own psychological states. So now they're able to understand themselves. They're able to know why people are behaving in such a manner, why people do this, why so many factors that goes with psychological states, which can include managing stress effectively and being less likely to suffer from depression. So those people are able to manage their stress, to manage the depression if they are depressed. They're able to help people. They're able to help even the students, people in schools to be able to stay with others and manage uh, those things that can affect them. So there is no correlation between IQ and AI scores. So there is no correlation. They are not related at all. IQ and emotional intelligence, they are not related at all. So in other words, we're saying academic aptitude, that is IQ, has no connection with with how people understand and deal with their emotions. So IQ with how people deal with their emotions is very different. And emotions of others. How people deal with their own emotions and emotion of others, it has nothing to do with IQ. So this makes a perfect sense. We all met every clever people who nonetheless had no idea about how to deal with people, and the reverse. So there are people who are very clever, very intelligent, but they are unable to live with others. So people with high IQ and low emotional intelligence, and vice versa, while others people who score highly in both them, the same do not. So IQ and emotional intelligence attempts to measure different forms of human intelligence. That is the bottom line, along with their personality. So these measures make up an individual psyche. Therefore, we can say that emotional intelligence is one part of the human psyche that we can develop and improve by learning and practicing new skills. So it is that part of human being which is very important, that it will continue to develop and it can be improved by learning and doing practical, getting new skills so that you're able to deal with issues like stress, managing those stress, depression, etc. So IQ and personality are more static measures and are likely to stay reasonable constant throughout the life. So IQ and personality sometimes is very difficult to change. If you are clever, you are clever. If you're not clever, you're not clever. But emotional intelligence are those keys that you get through learning and they continue to grow so that you can be able to develop them. You can know how to live with the people, how to stay with the people. So ultimately, we can say that emotional intelligence can only be measured by how individuals progress through their life. So that's how we can measure emotional intelligence, how you continue to grow and stay with people, developing meaningful relationships with others, their interpersonal skills and understanding, the ability to manage their own emotions, and their personal skills. So that is how we can be able to measure intelligence, emotional intelligence. So it's a very important concept that it needs to be developed, it needs to grow in individuals so that these people can be able to live a comfortable life in such a way they are able to manage themselves in a very uh, meaningful way. So in conclusion, we can say that emotional intelligence is one of the most important skills that we need in our life. So we shall continue from there, trying to learn more about emotional intelligence. Uh, Therefore, thank you so much for viewing my channel. If you are enjoy my channel, you can subscribe so that you can be able to receive more about emotional intelligence and other areas as we discuss. Thank you so much.